everybody. Today I thought I would do something a little bit different. I've been searching all over to see if I could find a different mask type that might work for us. So I thought what I would try today is to see if I could make 3 different types of masks and see which one is the easiest to sew, which one's the most difficult to sew, and which one might actually work. I guess disclaimer, these masks obviously aren't going to do the protection level as an N95 mask. However, sometimes I feel something's better than nothing. And I'm tired of using disposable things. It takes me longer to cut the fabric and figure out how to cut the fabric than it does to actually make the mask. I'm not joking here. Just so you know, this is not a dull blade. I've only cut 2 things with it. Okay, here is my fabric for this mask, and what I'm going to do is take it to the sewing machine and sew right here. I could iron it, but I'm just, for simplicity, to see if it fits, gonna do it just like this. All right, seam in the middle for some clips and hair ties. And let's see, 1. I don't know, that looks pretty good to me. And then put this around here and this around here. Okay. Let's clip this. Clip at the top. Clip over here on the side. Gotta say, guys, this is pretty easy. This is a simple 2-layer mask, just like the next one I'll be doing. One thing I did not think about was putting a nose piece in this one, but I'm pretty sure I could have done that in the step before this. Alright, so here's my mask. Now, I can tell the downside of this one is that I don't have a nose clip. It is, wait, did I put it on inside out? No, I did not. Because it's the same fabric, I can't tell which is inside and not inside. I also did not put my nose clip on there, so I can't get a good seal with this mask. It's a little loose on the side, but I wonder if I do the same thing that I do with my regular masks. Okay, now as you can tell, it's a little tight, guys. When I pull it back like that, but it does fit tight, really tight around my nose. So while it was easy to sew, it might not work for me because it really is pressing down on my nose hard. Just 2 fabrics and no filter pocket. You're gonna think this is ridiculous. I'm using a plate. All right, fold it over like this, and then fold it over like that. I have 4 like pizza shapes. For this one, what I need to do is turn right sides together and sew as close to the edge as I can on the curve. I sewed to the edge. I did pinking shear the edge. Okay. Let me clip these. So now I've sewed the mask together, right side together, turn it inside out. All right, and I want to make sure that I pull on my seams, but I could potentially at this point put a nose piece in and sew it in place. What I did was I took the nose piece out of one of the disposable masks. I'm gonna clip it into place there. I'm gonna top stitch all the way around and sew the nose piece in place. Here it is. And the nose piece is in there pretty good. Yeah, it's not sliding at all. I always get hung up on the straps. Always. Now, one thing I could have done was cut one continuous strap, because this one is not going to go around like that. I need to make ear loops. What do you think? It actually is not a bad fit overall, but I do have looseness here that I'm not going to be able to get rid of. If I pull tighter here, then it really presses down on my nose and that hurts and I can't breathe. I can tell that I'm really going to have an eyeglass fogging problem with this mask. But it could be that I just don't have these tight enough. I might can play around with it to get this mask to work, because this really was a very simple mask to make. I did like that I was able to adjust it so that I could put a nose piece in pretty easily. I don't know how well I trust it since it's only a 2-layer mask. I don't know if you can see my glasses fogging up. I mean, that just means that air's coming out of the top of the mask, so it's not a great seal. All right, let's try the others. I know that didn't cut because it sounds different. know that it's user error. It's just so messed up. Okay. All right. What I think I'm supposed to do is take this and fold it like so. This one is going to have a pocket for a filter. I'm going to leave myself, I'm just going to leave myself 4 fingers width. And I think that I only sew here and back stitch, you know, it's a lot of back stitching. Back stitch, forward, 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 back stitch. And then same thing on that side. Man, y'all missed some good stuff. I thought I had the record button on and I did not. So what I did was, you can see the room for the pocket there, right? I pressed down the seam allowance, and I can't believe that my seam allowance is so small. I usually have like a really big seam allowance. See, my thing is how is that gonna sew? It's not even as long as that is. I'm going to take this and clip it here on the inside, and then take this and clip it and clip there. And what I'm going to do off camera is I'm going to sew over these individual ones, these individual elastic pieces first. And then after that, I'm going to sew all the way down on each side. Okay, I'm going to turn this inside out. And see if what I was attempting to do actually worked. And they look like they're on pretty good. Now, I'll be honest, they are very large, so a 6-inch probably would have done it just like she said. But now let's take this and go up. Okay. Take this and go up. Okay. And last, take this and go up. So there's a basic mask right here and right here. And we'll see, we'll be back in a minute. Almost. Because you might be wondering, what about that nose clip? And where's the pocket? Well, the pocket's in the pleat here. And I want my pleats to go down. So I need for my nose strip to be at this end. So I'm going to slide it into that filter pocket. And take it all the way to the top of this mask. And what I want to make sure is that it is in the center, and right now it's not. So I'm just going to keep going until it is. I think that I need it to scoot over just a touch more. Let's see. I'm going to put a clip on it to make sure that it stays in place while I sew it. As you see, my filter, my nose is in there really good. I actually top stitched it twice, but I did a stitch beside it on each side so that it would stay put. Let's try this on. I already know that the elastic's gonna be too big because I second guessed the 6-inch. All right, let's see. Here is this mask. And I did my pleats much better on this mask. It's got a nose wire. It also has a spot for a filter. It was the first time I used elastic instead of another tie. I really think the elastic's going to be too big for my ears, but let's give it a try. And what I would do with my normal mask would be go ahead and fold it so I know where that fold has got to go on my nose. All right, just like every other mask, it is way too big, but it's because of the elastic. And I just putzed that up completely. All right, I'm going to do this. I shouldn't have done this. What did I do? All right. Let's see if I tie it. If I tie it, whether it will be a better fit. Because I don't want to keep trying these if I can't ever get a good fit. If that makes sense. Because I was really hoping that one of these would work. God, now it's too tight. I can't win for losing. This one's actually not too bad. I do have it a little tight, so I've got to figure out the ears. Is not going to do well, because if it's too tight, then the mask is going to be pressing up in my nose, and that kind of fun. And if it's too loose, then I have a whole fogging up my glasses problem. And look, see, it's too loose here, and that was just a little bit. I like this one the best in terms of concept because it's got a place for the filter. I can actually make that place as big or as small as I want. I was able to put in a nose wire. I just can't figure out the size of the ear straps. This really is a no-go at all for me, and I don't know if it's because it doesn't have a nose thing, but it feels like it's sliding, and really there's just too much air. Ooh, there's too much of an air situation coming out of the top of the mask and also the sides of the mask. And the bottom flap. So to me, this one is a no-go, even though it is really easy to sew. And if this works for you, that is fantastic. It just does not work for me. But out of all of them, this one was absolutely the easiest to sew. This is the one that I made with the plate. And I really actually like it, But the biggest problem is that I can't seal it well enough at the top, and I really do have a lot of fog coming up in my glasses, even if you can't tell. And it's a little loose down here. I really like the concept of this one. It was easy, really easy to cut, which for me is very difficult, and it was really easy to make. I didn't have to deal with any pleats. I just had to make a few seams, but it does not have a place for a filter, and I created a place for a nose thing, but even still, it's not as tight of a seal as I would like. For the ear, I used that. I would try a continuous strap and see how I like that. But mask B. And then there's mask C, which to me feels most like my regular mask, which I will show you here in a minute, like my disposable mask. However, it's very loose down here, and I just heard gravel. Why do I hear gravel? Oh, my husband's home. It's very loose here, so I've got to figure out what's going on with the ear straps to see if I can figure it out. But this is my most promising, but it was also the most difficult because it involves pleats, opening for the pocket. It wasn't that difficult, but still. There might be a few more that I might try to see if they work as well. Alright, I want to show you a little trick that I do use with disposable masks because, I mean, not all disposable masks are created equal. But I have found a way to make the ones that I have work for me. But I'm trying to make masks that I don't have to use disposable ones for. The first thing I do is fold it in the middle. So that way I know where the middle goes on my nose. I put it over my ears. And if I wear it just like this, there's too much gap here. Like way too much gap. I get my breath, I get nose breath, I get my mouth breath all over my glasses, and they fog up really bad. And I'm not protecting anybody wearing this mask like this. Yeah? So, here's what I do. And I put my hair up and I clip. I clip it back. That alone makes it so much better. The next thing I do is I fix my nose. I really pinch in my nose, and then I fold down part of that nose clip. I fold down part of the nose. I mean up here at the top. Right? And I keep folding. Now, I do still get some nose breath, but it's not nearly as much, and it fits a lot better. Like, I have a lot less air coming out of my mask in all directions than if I just wear it by itself, and then I can put my hair down and I'm good to go. Just so we know, when I go to do my sewing machine's right over here. I'm not going to move the camera. If this turned out phenomenal and one of them works, then I'll do a more close-up video later. Alright? I've been scouring. I can't say that. I need to just change a word. As you guys know, I made a mask not too long ago. Look up in the info card, a link to that. I did a very good job on the mask, surprisingly enough. However, the mask did not fit my husband. It definitely did not fit me. So we've not been able to use them, making it very difficult to breathe. I wish that I could get a mask that didn't, like, it presses down on my nose so hard, and I don't know if it's because I got a big nose or what the deal is.